shopgear.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fat Man.
Sleazy, what the fuck? It's been 6 weeks?
Yeah, so let's try and go for a record on this show.
Man, I know we like to do Broadway sometimes, but goddamn. We have 5 shows to cover from, 3 or 4 different promotions?
Yeah. 4 of them happened pretty close to each other, considering.
Let me just down this beer real quick.
Yeah, okay. Brought to you by Bud Light, not a sponsor. They can go fuck themselves. Unless they pay us, then absolutely we need to do this.
And speaking of records, this is the longest cold open we've ever done.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about more of that shit on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. Blue Smock 90, they're wonderful. They let us use that wonderful song, Unsettling Differences. You can find them on iTunes and Spotify. Fat Man, holy shit. Let's get right into it.
Yeah,
we have 5 fucking shows.
Okay.
Let's do this. How many did you watch?
All fucking 5.
How many did Sleazy watch?
Not
3.5.
And I went to one of these shows too, and then I rewatched it. So yay for me. Okay, we're gonna start off something unusual. We're gonna do an NWA show.
Yeah, what the fuck happened there?
It was the Crockett Cup 2019. It happened April 7th in Concord, North Carolina. It's a suburb of Charlotte. Okay, let's get into this shit show.
Wait, what? An NWA show that was shit? No, that can,
okay,
especially coming from you.
Okay, so the first match was a wild card tag team battle royal Crockett Cup qualifier. It's like
what the? Can you say that again?
No, it had a bunch of teams in it, and whatever team survived enters the Crockett Cup. But I kind of liked how they did it. It was a battle royal, but you had to eliminate both members of the team, not just one, like in normal battle royals.
Because that's dumb.
Yeah, so actually, I like that part. Royce Isaacs and Thomas Lattimore won. My notes.
Who?
The match went 6 minutes and 40 seconds. I like the idea of both numbers had to be eliminated, but the match was too short for that concept, which it was. It only went 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Typical battle royal, some quick spots, like one member doing a poetry in motion. Oh, some dumb spots, I meant. I can't even read my own handwriting. It was about a month ago. Some dumb spots, like one member doing a poetry in motion with no one in the corner. And the match was pretty sloppy.
What?
Yeah, the match was pretty sloppy. Meh.
Well, 6 minutes, how many teams were in that battle royal?
I don't even remember.
Wow. It's a memorable show already.
Okay,
was that actually on the show, or
yes,
was that some sort of pre-show?
It was on the show.
Oh.
So the first match is the first round of the Crockett Cup. Okay, the Crockett Cup is just a tag team tournament. There. How about that? We should have
like the Dusty Classic.
Right. The first match was Bandito Flip Gordon versus Guerrero Maya Jr. and Stuka Jr. I gave it 2.5 stars. It went 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The match was sloppy to start. It picked
and
up.
then it ended. 2 minutes, 30 seconds?
Okay, match sloppy to start. Stuka Jr. with Tornado Plancha on the Bandito, which was a great spot because he's kind of like an older guy. It picked up with all the high-flying moves, but no one sold. Haha.
Because LOL
another stupid spot where Bandito let Stuka Jr. run past him to hit flip on the top rope. Ref stops counting before Bandito could make the save. Like, counting 1, 2, 3, and the ref stops, and then had to wait for the spot.
God damn.
Stupid.
But it was 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
12 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Did I say 2 minutes?
Yeah,
I'm at 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay. Because I'm like, bad. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. They got a lot of shit for 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
My bad. It was 12 minutes. I probably should have gone 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Just when you think the match about ready to pick up, something stupid happens. It just kills the momentum. It was an average match. It was an okay match for a house show, 2.5 stars.
Okay.
The second match was Royce Isaacs and Thomas Lattimore versus War Kings, which was Crimson and Jax Dunn, I think. I can't read my own handwriting.
Crimson and
Jax Dunn. It was a more traditional tag team match than the first one.
Oh, JT Dunn, probably.
I don't think it is. But it was still just an average match. Pretty much the War Kings were pretty much the only true NWA tag team in it because Royce Isaacs and Thomas Lattimore are singles wrestlers that just got thrown in from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Because they're technically they're an NWA affiliate, but they're not
right.
really.
So they're the only true team, and they lost in the first round. The only true team from the NWA lost in the first round. It did not make the NWA look good. That was my take on it.
Oh, absolutely. Makes them look like that really.
So off the start, it makes like absolutely no sense.
Jax Dane.
Thank you. I can't read my handwriting. So the next match is another first round match of the Crown Cup. The Briscoes versus the Rock and Roll Express.
Wait, what?
Yes. The match went 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Ricky Morton fucking blades in it like a minute in. It's your typical Rock and Roll Express match, but just much slower because they're older.
In 2019, thank goodness.
It was a start and a half. It wasn't really that great. Briscoes won, obviously.
I mean, I'm glad that they're getting work still. But the fact that they still have to get work says a lot, too. So
it's an NWA show in North Carolina. Whatever. First round match of the Crockett Cup. Kojima and Nagata. Yes, Nagata. 51-year-old Nagata. Or 50-year-old Nagata was on this match versus Brody King and PCO. 11 minutes and 50 seconds. I wrote almost 12 minutes for this match with 3/4 of the wrestlers are 48 years old or older is a bad idea. Should have been half that, but they did their best. Another average match, 2.5 stars with Brody King and PCO going over.
Spoiler.
All right, the next match is for vacant NWA Women's Championship.
Okay.
Allison Kay versus Santina Garrett. Better match than what I was expecting. They tried to make it a big deal pre-match with Medusa. Crowd couldn't have cared less about the match. No selling at all. A shitty clothesline wins it. Dumb. 1.5 stars.
I think you're being nice.
You didn't watch it. Shut up. It went 5.
I know I didn't watch it. I only read the reviews of it, and I heard what you said about it. So
you somehow my reviews got online. Okay.
No, you told me about it when you first watched it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
That's why I didn't watch this.
Crockett Cup semifinal.
Because I was actually interested in that match.
Flip Gordon and Bandino versus Royce Isaacs and Thomas Lattimore. Isaac Lattimore went over. Another match that just couldn't get past that 2.5 star level. It was 2 stars and with 7 minutes 15 seconds. No really big spots in it. Nothing really to say about it.
It's just an okay match for a house show.
Little below average. The other semifinal match is next. It went 9 minutes and 50 seconds. It was a Briscoes versus Brody King and PCO. I gave it 3 stars. Most of the crowd was into the match up, and it was the most the crowd was into any match up to that point. Best match up until that point. Should have gotten more time. I think the wrong team won. Brody King and PCO won by DQ.
Wait, you do a DQ on a semifinal? Really?
Yeah, I'll talk about it more when I get to the final match.
Yeah.
Next match was for the NWA National Championship.
Which is not the 10 pounds of gold, by the way.
It's Willie Mack defends against Colt Cabana. Went 8 minutes and 45 seconds. It was a good match, but it should have been longer again. Both men were impressive. I can't read my handwriting after that.
Well, Colt won. I know
yeah,
that.
Colt won.
And the reason for that is an interesting one.
Say it.
So Willie Mack is one of the people that is suing Lucha Underground currently because Lucha Underground is trying to tell their performers that have been signed to contracts that they can't work other dates. And NWA was kind of worried about this because obviously he's the national heavyweight champion. So they took the belt off of him just on the off chance they were going to try and sue the NWA. And honestly, the NWA doesn't have enough money to even defend something like that if they tried.
All right, so it's the Crockett Cup final, and it's also for the vacant NWA World Tag Team Championships. So that was the whole thing, build up for it. We're going to crown new tag team champions. Brody King and PCO versus Royce Isaacs and Thomas Lattimore. Brody King and PCO went over. I wrote, if they were going to give it to an ROH team, why not put it on the Briscoes? So they had technically two heel tag teams in the final.
It's kind of weird booking. Although, to be fair, PCO and Brody King are one of those teams that, yeah, technically they're heels, but they're not. You know what I mean? They're booked as heels, but they get cheered.
I get it. So, actually, after the Briscoe match, PCO got his arm destroyed. He's coming out there, could barely lift his arm, and somehow they had Brody King just drag his arm on the apron around the ring rope, and now his arm's miraculously fine. I thought that was stupid as shit, dumb as shit. A quarter star.
Wow,
the match was stupid.
That's a glowing review.
It was stupid. It made it. And like I said, plus the brackets didn't make any sense. If you're going to have your the War Kings were technically faces. Why not have them in the final, even if you're going to put over an NWA team?
Right. Against
a heel, PCO, and Brody King. I know that they're not heels, but they're heels. He's a heel.
Goddamn.
So it doesn't, it makes no sense. Anyway, finally, the last match. NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Nick Aldis defends against Marty Scurll. 23 minutes and 45 seconds. Tommy Young! Tommy Young was the outside official, which was kind of stupid how they did it. Scurll did this spot to where he brought a chair into the ring and then behind the referee's back kind of threw it at Aldis and then kind of went down. He did the whole Guerrero thing where Guerrero used to do that. Even though it was Aldis's valet.
Who is his valet?
I don't remember what her fucking name is. I should have wrote it down. Oh, Camille.
Camille. I hate to say this, but who the fuck is that?
Yeah, but that whole spot, though, was also in front of Tommy Young, who's the outside official, even though he didn't do nothing, so it kind of didn't make any sense. They had a table spot right in front of Tommy Young also, but not a DQ. But yeah, there was a DQ in the previous match here on the show. And it didn't make sense in the match for the table spot at all. It was just a spot.
Just something to do.
Yeah. Scurll bladed with a punch, which, back in the 70s and 80s I can understand, but in 2019, no.
Bladed with a punch?
So then Camille got kicked out, but that she came back down to help, but yet when Aldis was pissed that she got kicked out, but then she came down to help, he was pissed that she came down to help and set her back. That, again, made no sense. The booking around the match was stupid, but the match was actually still pretty good. 3 3/4 stars.
Despite them trying to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yes.
It sounds like the entire show was them shooting themselves in the foot.
It wasn't a great show by any means. So yeah, it was just terrible. Just terrible. That's one show, so don't go out of your way to watch it.
1 down, 4 to fucking go.
Now you can kind of talk about this show.
Yeah, to a point. Probably till when it got good from the way it sounds.
Yep, actually, Impact had their show Rebellion on April 28th in Toronto. The first match was Petey Williams. It was a 6-way. Petey Williams versus Jake Chris versus Aiden Prince versus Ace Austin versus Jack Diener versus Eddie Edwards.
Why is he in the opener?
Why is he in a 5-minute opener?
Yeah, it's a bad 5-minute opener.
Meltzer didn't even give the first 2 matches any star ratings. Like, I looked them up. He didn't even bother mentioning them.
Wow. It's deserved, but still.
Really? Because I thought that was a good match. I give it 3 stars.
I did not like it at all.
It was rushed, but it was like get your shit in, get out, but it was action-packed. I said short match, but a ton of action. Good opener.
It felt like way too many things were happening at the same time, and I think it muddled the match. It was
when you don't have great camera work, then yes.
Yeah, and they're the king of great camera work. Yeah. So.
Okay, the intergender match is next. Scarlett Bordeaux versus Jinder Mahal Light.
God damn, pal.
I literally put that. He's Jinder Mahal Light.
I wish he was that good. I mean,
I literally put Scarlett was better than him.
They botch once in the match. In the very beginning. He botches.
Yeah, he botches.
It's like,
and
what
Scarlett
the fuck?
Bordeaux is fucking fun.
I mean, yes.
Quarter star. Like it.
I mean, what was that supposed to accomplish? That's my bigger problem with the match, is that there was no reason.
He was supposed to do like some striptease show or something, and then they
the smoke show. It's
stopped it, and then now they're having a match.
But it wasn't that though. I mean, the smoke show is really not. Supposedly, it's not really it's like an interview show almost.
I don't fucking know what it is.
It's stupid. The entire thing's just a stupid concept to begin with, and supposedly Scarlett and Killer Cross are not happy about this, and they want out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So it's dumb.
The Rascals versus the North End Moose.
iPhone.
Thank you. Yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it. I actually liked the match. There's no doubt that I'm a huge fan of Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, but the only problem I had with the match, if anything, is that it felt like it was one-sided in a way, because basically the story up to that point was the Rascals were trying to beat Moose, and only one of them did because all 3 of them basically bum rushed him. So when you go into this 6-man tag, you basically have to book it like the 3 of them are just going to kill the Rascals. And that's not what happened.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, okay. What did you think of it?
I liked it. I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah.
I said both teams are impressive. The Rascals remind me of the CNC Wrestle Factory from ROH.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good...
And I said Josh Alexander with more seasoning could be a huge star.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's how I viewed the match. I thought he was the most impressive in it.
Considering that Josh, to his credit, at one point was retired from wrestling because he broke his neck. So he came back from that, and now he's here. So it's amazing that he made it back to this point. So.
We're fucking rushing through this, which is great. Impact's Knockout Championship. Taya Valkyrie defends against Jordan Grace.
Fucking stupid. What a terrible match.
Really?
I hated it.
Really?
I absolutely hated it.
I thought it was physical as fuck. I think they worked hard to put on the best match they possibly could, physical match. I gave it 2 3/4 stars.
I like Jordan Grace. Okay, don't get me wrong. She's a great worker. She looks the part of a female professional.
You know who she looks like? A female Michael Elgin.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. Yeah, that's really... Okay, never going to see Michael Elgin the same way now. But, I mean, the problem I have with the match was sloppy as hell. There were a lot of spots where...
I think they rushed.
Maybe so, but I remember one spot where Jordan was sitting... Taya did a snapmare to Jordan and did like the snapmare to the leg kick, except Taya just chokes the leg kick completely and doesn't hit her at all. But Jordan's got to sell it. And it's just one of those things where it's like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. And there were a lot of spots like that where miscommunication happened. I wouldn't say necessarily botches, but it was just sloppy. the sloppiness got to me. And maybe I'm just being critical of women's wrestling like I usually am, but
You are.
I'm
not saying it was the best match by any means, but it was
physical, yes.
it was physical,
but I just don't.
I think it helped the match out a little bit.
I think you're giving too much credit to the fact that they're physical. But
I gave too much credit for two women beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Cat fight. Okay. OVE rules match for the X Division Championship. Rich Swann defends against Sami Callihan. Does Sami Callihan watch our show or listen to our show?
See, I don't know what the reference was because I went. You told me that before I started watching, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Legos.
Oh yeah, well, okay. I was thinking. I thought you were making the reference of he called Rich Swann a spot monkey.
No,
that's what I was.
No. No, the Legos.
That's where I was. Yeah, I hope you step on the Lego.
Yeah.
Which you can get at thewrestlingshow.com/merch or under the merch tab on thewrestlingshow.com. Gotta get that plug.
By the way, I thought it was a very good brawl. They put Sammy must listen to our show. 3.5 stars. Rich Swann looked really weird, clean shaven.
He looked really weird, clean shaven. I didn't like the pile driver spot on the outside.
I didn't either.
It looked so dumb, and which is kind of sad because it's a pile driver. Obviously, that's going to be pretty insane. B, it's going to be one of those spots where, you're supposed to make it look like you're going through something. It doesn't look like that at all. It looks like you actually made the spot safer by doing it on top of the guardrail because of the way it bent in. And C, it didn't sound like anything. So it didn't sound like a really big spot either. It was bad all around. The match itself was, I want to say decent, but I just couldn't handle this match. I couldn't handle the card up to this point. I just gave up after this match.
Which is when you have two of the three best matches.
Of course I did. Before we continue, though, I do want to pop in here and say shopgear.com. This is our affiliate link for Amazon. Check out shopgear.com. You can get all your normal Amazon stuff. You go through the affiliate link. Amazon gets us a little kickback. You get the same price on all your stuff. Everybody wins.
Yeah, and I just bought 250 feet worth of Ethernet cable, which you helped me out with. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just bought a fucking stupid fan for our server. So,
all right, the next match I think is the match of the night: Gail Kim versus Tessa Blanchard. It went 13 minutes 10 seconds. I do have fuck Dave Meltzer star ratings.
If you want to hit
this show. So the first match he didn't rate the first two matches. He gave Moose in the North at Radicals 3, Knockouts title 2.25, and the OV Rules X Division title match 3.5. He gave this 3 3/4. I gave it 4. I said for 42 years old, Gail still has it.
Oh, of course she does.
She proves she's still one of the best best wrestlers in the world. She was bumping crazy for Tesla in this match. Watch it.
I will.
Tessa
Blanchard.
Tessa. And I think that if she was born maybe 5 to 10 years later, she'd be the face of the women's division in any promotion. She would thrive in this. She still is amazing.
Ironically, if you really truly want to go back and say when the women's revolution started in wrestling, it was her matches with Awesome Kong. They really, truly were.
She was great.
Yeah.
Impact World title did not go on last.
Because fuck you.
So I'm like, we're going to have a new champion. Lance Storm was the guest referee.
I guess LOL Canada.
Right. Johnny Impact defends against Brian Cage. Meltzer gave it 3.25. I gave it 2 3/4. Brian Cage went over. It went 13 minutes 20 seconds. I put too long, even for 13 minutes. Should have had Cage just squashed him. It was still decent. Impact hit him with a Spanish fly off the top of the stage onto the floor, and it looked like Cage was hurt throughout the whole rest of the match because Johnny was just like literally, I think he hit his head, literally walking him through every step of the way. You could easily tell after that he was walking him through every step. So,
he was definitely injured. He did have a back injury after the fact. He was out for a couple weeks.
Oh, well, it didn't look like a back injury. It looked like it because he was talking. You can visibly see him just telling him spot for spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just think it went too long. I think Cage should have went over. Then speaking of Michael Elgin comes out and hits Cage with his finisher and holds up the Impact World title. So now the main event of Slammiversary is Elgin versus Cage for the Impact World title.
So the Unbreakable fucking Machines are together again in Impact?
Unbreakable fucking Machines?
Yeah. That was their tag name. In
They're facing each other.
Yeah, but that was their tag name in PWG.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Unbreakable fucking Machines because Cage is a fucking machine.
Michael, yeah, I get it.
But also because Michael Elgin likes to fuck a lot of people, it's the Unbreakable fucking Machine.
Full Metal Mayhem for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Lucha Bros defends against LAX. We know who won because Lucha Bros will be the last time we're talking about the Lucha Bros on this show. 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 4 1/4. I gave it 4. I said insane brawl. Oh my God, how is Phoenix still alive? So, near the end of the match, he hurts, probably about 3/4 of the way of the match, he hurts his shoulder. And you could tell that it's fucked up. So then he decides to do a Spanish fly off the top of a ladder through a table on the entrance ramp. He doesn't rotate properly and he spikes himself on top of his head. How is he still alive? I have no clue.
The man's a phoenix.
It doesn't mean anything.
He rises from the dead. Because he's a phoenix.
No. He's dead. The motherfucker dead.
Yeah, really.
Overall, I thought that, the show probably isn't as bad as what Sleazy says it was.
Well, to be fair, I didn't end up watching probably the 2 matches that would have made more sense, more levity to the actual show. If the main event of that show was Sami Callihan versus Rich Swann, this would be Garbage City. The entire show would have been Garbage City. But, I mean...
I just think they did their best. They put their best effort forward. It wasn't a great show by any means, but it was okay.
Yeah, well...
Now let's get on. It looks like we're going from bad to decent to okay. And then...
What's okay?
Okay's Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank?
Yeah, it's a show I went to.
We're not doing anything with chips or anything?
Chips? I don't know what fucking chip is. Chips? No, that's Double or Nothing. That was in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
We're doing Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Mark!
What's up?
Jesus Christ.
We led you in 4 times. You little shit.
I wasn't sure if y'all were still... I don't know what y'all were doing.
We were leading you in.
You in. By the way, Mark's back.
Welcome back to Mark.
It's been like, 2-3 years?
Goddamn, pal.
It's been insane.
Well, let me go ahead and... I didn't watch the first 2 shows, and it's because I couldn't find them. One, the NWA show sounds like it was NWA Old School versus ROH New School. Interesting. And it just seems like Lucha Underground contracts expired and they all went to TNA. Am I right?
No.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
That's a good answer. No. Fuck you.
They're in a lawsuit.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
So,
all right, let's continue.
All right, so now we got Mark here. Money in the Bank happened May 19th in Hartford, Connecticut. I was there live.
I was not.
Me neither.
Well, you broke your heel because you're a heel.
God damn, you're a fucking heel.
Pre-show?
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I had to watch it.
You had to watch it.
Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos in a non-title match. Oh, wait, 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 3 1/4. I give it 2 3/4. Chip, what do you think?
Maybe 2.5. I didn't think it was one of their best. I don't know why they opened with that, but it's what it is.
Because it's fucking Bryan Danielson.
So,
Well, I know that, but it's just I don't know. I've been watching him lately, and I'm just not seeing the fire that was there. I know the WWE stole it from him, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Just to me, it's not the same.
because he's a heel.
Goddamn heel.
I wrote the SpongeBob SquarePants joke followed up by the Uso Penitentiary catchphrase is what's wrong with WWE today.
That's all that's wrong? Okay.
It's one of the reasons what's wrong. Because you're catering to kids and then you're like, Uso Penitentiary, motherfucker. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
So you're pretty much saying, kill people. Yay. Match was better. There's a theme for the show. Match is better live than it went on TV. It was a good match live, slightly above average match on TV.
I'm sorry to hear that. You know what's nice? I didn't watch any of this shit.
You're about ready to. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah. Fuck.
Naomi versus Carmella versus Nikki Cross versus Dana Brooke versus Ember Moon versus Natasha versus Mandy Rose versus Bayley. And Naomi's the only one that didn't. You got a jobber entrance. They couldn't find 30 seconds for her on this show to get her actual entrance.
She's amazing jobber.
Match only went 13 minutes and 50 seconds. Fuck Dame also gave it 3 1/4. Sleazy.
I liked it.
What?
I liked it. That's it.
That's just you liked it. That's it.
I liked it. I liked it.
Chip.
I thought the end of it was better. No, I'm not just saying the final part of it, but the end part of the match was better. It seemed like it took a little slow for them to get their chemistry together. A couple botches I saw early in the match, but I'd give it 2 3/4. I wasn't a fan of it.
Whoa.
But that was the theme for the show as well. But besides, go ahead.
It was fine.
Put the Carmella knee injury was pointless. But,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I completely forgot about that.
but I also put that this was probably the most physical Women's Money in the Bank match to date.
Well, that's true.
And it was the best one, and I think the right person won.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Especially with what's going on currently.
God, spoiler.
Yeah.
All right, the next match is for the United States Championship. Samoa Joe defending against Rey Mysterio. Match only went 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Was that longer than WrestleMania? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, by 40 seconds.
And I was there. And I still don't remember that match being that long.
The match was way too short,
For obvious reasons.
but Joe broke his nose, so they stopped the match.
Yeah.
So that's why it went short. So yeah, Mysterio just won. So dud, obviously. Dave Meltzer gave a 1 star. I don't understand why, but it was a dud.
It was a 1-star classic from...
But I loved how that
Dave
they stopped the
Metz.
match, but they had to get the post-match beatdown in.
Well, yeah. You have to. He ended up... Ray ended up giving it back to Joe anyway.
I have not watched this. Okay, so
Spoiler.
for WWE, I watched the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania, then nothing, then Money in the Bank, and then nothing for the main roster of WWE.
Wow.
It's playoff season.
Yeah, that's true for you.
Yep.
For me, it's Mondays and Tuesdays, and that's about it. I mean, it does, and I'm still not watching the weeklies as much. So
I'm not watching them at all. And I did exactly what Fatman did. I watched Mania. Well, I was at Mania, and then I watched Money in the Bank.
Steel cage match: Shane McMahon versus The Miz. God.
What in the fuck was this?
Bad match. A rope break in a steel cage match was fucking stupid. Shittiest frog splash ever by The Miz. However, that was the first of 4 different people doing a frog splash on this show, by the way.
Damn it, D'Lo.
Keep that stat.
Shane's submission is fucking ridiculous. You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
The League, where Rafi did it, and then all of a sudden you get a fear boner to get out of it.
Wow.
So it looked exactly like it. I'm like, oh my god, Miz, do the fear boner. Do the fear boner. Anyway, while the end of the match was creative, it still wasn't that great. It was a fluke win by Shane for the second pay-per-view in a row. Now he's feuding with Roman Reigns because of 2 fluke wins over The Miz. Dumb. 1 star.
I mean, he's got to put that title of, greatest wrestler in the world in.
Best in the world.
Whatever.
And then you get CM Punk chants, and literally, like, from the section over to me, I'm like, shut up! Oh, by the way, before we go on, I want to talk about, like, the hike I went on to get to my seat.
Yes, please. Please, give us the live experience.
So, it was steep as shit.
Steeper than Dallas?
Yeah.
Steeper than Buffalo?
Buffalo's not that steep.
It is for me.
For you, because you're fat. Sleazy would have had a heart attack. So we're in row Z. I'm thinking, okay, we're all the way to the top. We are not, actually, because then they have rows AA, double B, double C.
Yep.
Double
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah. So, I swear to God, I probably lost like 15 pounds going up and down those stairs, and I only did it 3 times. Like, it was a hike. Even people who were in shape were, like, out of breath. That's how steep this fucking shit was.
I'm glad I didn't go.
Only because you would have died.
I would have died, yes.
He'd be like, oh, God. Every step, lay down. I'm just sitting there.
I'm just gonna take a nap.
Anyway, then I had these people behind me who were way bigger. Probably me and Sleazy combined. Like 4 of these guys.
Whoa.
These seats are not wide at all. It's a 50-year-old arena. So they were 100%. Chip, you still there?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
He's still dead.
All right. They're 100% fucking, like, complete fucking marks. Like, complete marks. And the first thing that came to my mind was, Chip will get this, Dell in the elevator in Dallas.
What?
Dell in the elevator in Dallas.
Oh. Yep.
So here's my question.
The other day, actually.
Here's my question about that. Did you still give him the WrestlingShow.com?
Of course I did.
Good for you.
But then I also, at the end, when we get to it, turned around and said, fucking marks, and then left.
Mic drop. Right as the elevator closes.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't talk to our fan base like that.
I don't give a shit.
That's a total lie. You do.
What do you guys think of the steel cage match?
Stupid.
Pointless. Shouldn't have been on the show. That's about it.
Speaking of pointless, WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Tony Nese defends against Arya Davari.
No, Pointless was later on in the show.
Okay, we'll talk extensively about that. With 9 minutes and 25 seconds, fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 3 stars. I gave it an okay match for a house show. The crowd could not have cared less about this. As soon as they knew the Cruiserweight title match was going on, they all fucking went to the concourse. Oh, by the way, I got another story about that too. One of the few times the Cruiserweights get a match on the main show and they shit the bed, don't be surprised if they're on the kickoff show for a while or not even on the show.
That's terrible. That's so
Wow.
terrible. And the worst part is they deserve it. I mean, that match was not good at all. It's like they fight to get a match on the card, and then when they finally do, they get this terrible mess. It's terrible.
It's like taking 3 steps forward to take 10 steps back.
Or like going south to go north.
Fuck, that was better. Damn it.
Yeah. Chip, what did you think about it?
I was looking forward because I like Tony Nese. I was hoping it was going to be a good match. It like Batman said, it lacked any crowd participation. They shit on it all over it. They weren't even there for it. And I've always been a fan of the cruiserweights, so I'd like to see it make a comeback, but it doesn't seem to do much since I left. It actually seems to have gotten worse.
The funny thing is that I think that the cruiserweight title match on the kickoff show at WrestleMania was the second best match of the night.
Yeah, so you went from that to this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, look at their roster right now. They lost a couple of big names. I know people aren't a huge fan of TJP in terms of his backstage antics, but he still was a great worker. And
he just came to Adrenaline last week. He was here in Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's out and about doing. What big booking did he take? He took something big recently that I was surprised he took, but yeah, between TJP losing Pac over the last year, losing even Mustafa Ali to the main roster was a hit. There are a lot of guys that really brought 205 Live together that really, now it's kind of empty. You know who I believe would have been a perfect person for 205 Live? And this is like a name out of the past for sure. Mark House. He would have fit right into that roster. Colin would have too. I mean, he did a couple of shots there, but I think as a full-time 205 roster, he would be doing a lot of good stuff too.
Evan Bourne would have been good.
Evan Bourne would have been great. Matt Sydal is one of the great high flyers, and I would love to see him in there.
Do you know that Finn Balor's a luchador?
Okay. There
was like this thing where like he did an interview like overseas, and his girlfriend was, I guess, like one of the interviewers or something.
Yeah.
So they're interviewing him, and then on the tag it said Finn Balor, WWE luchador.
You know what's great about that? People always assume he's gay.
Well,
yeah, there's a big
because he's a little silly.
Well, no, and don't get me wrong, it's cool that he does Pride Month and he's very LGBT friendly, and that's wonderful. I love it. I love the fact that he does that kind of stuff. But there was this like kind of weird assumption on the internet that because he was pro gay rights that he was gay or something. And then people point to that interview as like, wait, he's got a girlfriend
who's hot.
I mean, make sure wife's, yeah, she's fucking gorgeous. Holy shit. And I'm not that type. That's not really my type.
He doesn't like good looking women.
Really, I mean, my wife is wonderful looking though. But oh my god, holy shit!
Raw Women's Championship.
Speaking of women and Raw,
Becky Lynch defends against Lacey Evans. Match with 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 2 stars, so I'm wrong. I also gave it 2 stars. Shorter match than I was expecting. Actually, I think Lacey Evans kind of impressed me, but she still nothing special, nothing to like write home about. She did better than I thought she would. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, so I literally called what was going to happen to a T.
Okay.
I called Bayley winning Money in the Bank. I called Becky winning this match.
Okay.
I called...
Well, why would Lacey Evans win it?
Right. I called Charlotte coming out immediately after. Okay, your thoughts on the match. Lacey Evans.
It was...
oh, good.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I pointed at Sleazy. I'm whatever. Go ahead.
Do that, sorry. The Lacey Evans thing, she did perform better than I do. I mean, but she's still, I guess we'll use it on green. She's not there yet, but she could be. She's got a great gimmick for it. She's got great charisma, but it's just the air needs worked on. I'm surprised she lasted 8 minutes with Becky. And yeah, of course Becky's going to win. They're not going to give anything to Lacey. Please.
All right, Sleazy.
I hate Lacey Evans' gimmick.
Really?
I absolutely hate it.
Really?
I'm not a huge fan of it. It's different. Is it something that's not like everybody else? Yeah, but I don't like it. I think it's a kind of a weird backwoods gimmick for what it should be, and I don't think it has really a place in this current generation of wrestling. I really don't think so. It harkens back to the 80s where you're just playing on a stereotype way more than you should be. I mean, it's literally fucking Liberty Bell from Glow. It's literally the same character. And I think it's a ripoff, and B, it's not very good, and C, I'm not a huge fan of that, the persona that she's created. That being said, Lacey Evans, the performer, I kind of enjoy. I really enjoyed this match. It was not what I was going in this with low expectations, but I thought it was a really good match for what they did. I will always and forever hate her fucking finisher. Fuck you.
A punch?
The women's right hand. Yeah,
A
fuck
punch?
you.
A punch?
Yeah. I mean, people get simple moves over. Don't get me wrong. The Hogan leg drop.
Fuck you.
I had to get it in there. You had to get it in there.
Why don't you just twist the knife while you're at it too?
Yeah, boy. But I mean, there's so many. I mean, how many finishers in WWE right now are strikes? Jericho's new finisher is a fucking back elbow.
Is it a back elbow or is it just like a back slap?
No,
it's a back elbow.
Oh.
It's a running back elbow. And it's honestly, it's fucking stupid. But if you put it in the right perspective and you put it in the right frame, it turns into a pretty amazing move.
If you protect it.
If you protect it. That women's right hand can go right in the fucking trash.
I mean, it can go someplace else on me.
Or on her.
Okay.
SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte comes down. Demands a match. It went 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Give it 2 3/4. I give it 2 stars. Match could have been better and longer. I said Charlotte needed to win to fulfill my prophecy. And then I predicted, Lacey Evans coming. I didn't predict Lacey Evans coming down costing Becky the match, but I predicted her coming down for a post-match beatdown with Charlotte. I predicted Bayley to come down, and I predicted Bayley to cash in on Charlotte. I briefly, during the match, thought Becky was going to win because I'm like, wait, wrestling 2 matches, that's fine. And I'm like, wait a minute, that makes no sense. Bayley has to cash in on a heel because it's Bayley. She's not turning heel. So
yeah, turning Bayley heel is like turning Ricky Steamboat heel.
Yeah. So I'm like, so it has to be Charlotte has the win. So then she cashes in, hits the elbow, and wins the SmackDown Women's title.
My complaint out of this, and it's not necessarily with the match. Well, it's with the booking of the match. So you're going to tell me that Becky lost because of interference and one of the most decorated women's wrestlers of all time wins because of interference? And wrestling, would be her second match she's wrestling. That's what it takes to take Becky Lynch down?
You're overthinking.
I stand by it though.
No, because I actually wrote this down here. I said, obviously predicted cash in. It's set up, even though you're already going to have it at the end of the match, you set up Becky and Lacey to continue their feud, and you also set up Charlotte and Bayley on SmackDown. You set up 2 different feuds together. You get the belt, one of the belts off Becky, which she doesn't need both belts.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
So that takes a belt off her, and it immediately starts a feud without having to transition to anything. Just boom, there it is, and then she continued her feuds on Raw with Lynch. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was great storytelling.
Of course, they fucked that up.
Did they? How'd they fuck it up?
They had Charlotte back on Raw, and then they had what was it? I don't know how it ended up being this way, but it ended up turning into Charlotte versus Lacey.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So of course they fuck it up. They can't go from A to B without rehashing 15,000 things in the women's
They can't
division.
go A to B to C because they already did A to B. They went A to B to F.
Yeah, F, comma U. So,
Oh my god. Okay, that kind of pisses me off now. But I thought it was great storytelling. Like the way that they did it, it made perfect sense. But of course they fucked.
I mean, okay, yeah, but I still the storytelling makes sense in the fact of that's how you want to put that thing in there. But I guess my problem is the fact that you have her come back out for the post match. You don't have her interfere.
No,
I guess that's my complaint.
I understand where you're coming from, but again, it also
Yeah,
you could have
it's
her
a
come down.
nitpick. I get that it's a nitpick.
You could have her come out, but it continues. It should have continued their feud, but now what you just told me,
It's ridiculously stupid.
like it worked perfectly fine, and then they decided not to go to that direction.
Yes,
Because WWE.
because LOL.
All right, Chip, what's your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, Bailey cashing in was good to get the strap off, one of the straps off Becky. Because when she won both, I mean, at Mania, we were all dumbfounded. I'm sure y'all reviewed that, but we were all dumbfounded about how that happened. Because I'm like, that shouldn't have happened, but they had to end the show because it was 12:30 at night. So it was good to get a feud started between Charlotte and Becky without, as you said, I haven't watched Raw, so I don't know what happened. But if Charlotte's battling Lacey now, again, wrenching the machine as always. So I get 2 3/4.
After this show that we're done reviewing here, I do want to get both your thoughts of, for you, Fat Man, this show, your live experience here as a general thing. And I do want to get Chip's experience at WrestleMania because holy shit. I mean, that was a show that I don't think I could have stayed through.
Right.
I really couldn't have. I don't think so.
Okay, we'll get to it at the end of this one. So Roman Reigns versus Elias. I literally in my notes put stupid. That was my notes.
Now, when you say stupid, do you mean Randy Orton stupid?
Stupid.
Yeah. So yes.
What again? Another segment that could have been on the pre-show, but since it's Roman Reigns, they had to eat up 5 minutes of fucking TV time for literally nothing.
No reason at all.
No reason.
What the fuck are they doing with Elias? I mean, it seems like every week he's this weird. Yeah, he's heel this week. Yeah, he's face that week. Yeah, he's heel again. Yeah, no one really cares. Yeah, now he's with Shane McMahon. Now he's doing fucking duets with Finn Balor. What the fuck is going on?
It's a modern day Brooklyn Brawler.
But he's not. At least the Brooklyn Brawler, you had an idea.
Well, that's true.
You know how you had an idea? He wore a Boston shirt.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He wore a Brooklyn shirt. The Brooklyn Dodgers logo, that's the B you're looking at.
Yes, but I'm talking about the time where he went quote unquote heel.
Oh.
He wore a Boston Red Sox t-shirt.
Well, he finally saw the light.
Yeah, and then he went back to being
A jobber.
a jobber. Basically, yes.
My point. I dropped the pencil.
After he gets his big win against Triple H. Spoiler. And you think Triple H doesn't put anybody over. He put over the Brooklyn Brawler.
So, no thoughts on Roman Reigns and Elias? Sweet.
No, fuck that.
Nope.
It's filler for our show.
Universal Championship. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. 19 minutes, 45 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 4.5 stars. Chip, you're the mark.
I give it 4. I mean, I thought it was a really good match. It could have gone, I don't think it should have gone as long as it did, but it was great to see those two finally get a chance at each other. Good spots. A couple of them, like AJ was choreographing them by moving in the spot. Like, I guess he fell to the side or something when he was supposed to be in the center. I hate when they do that, and I noticed that right away. But that was towards the beginning. Towards the end, they were working more fluidly. So I give it 4 stars.
Sleazy.
I actually agree with Dave Meltzer on the rating.
So you're wrong.
So obviously I'm wrong. Okay, so Fatman was actually trying to watch this match in his seat. I was having a fight with Travis
Yes.
throughout the entire match, basically saying it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's never good. It's going to be bad. And then it actually ended up being good with a clean finish, no less. I was absolutely shocked, dumbfounded that they actually managed to leave the booking alone on this fucking match. We had a clean win. We had a good match. Not just a good match, great match. Is it the best match of this year? Hell no. But for main roster this year, I would say yes. Yes, I said for main roster. So,
You done?
yes.
Not even the best match on this show.
Oh, okay. Come on.
What?
I give it 4.25.
You're a fucking mark.
But it's still not the best match on this show.
Yeah, okay.
Again, wrote skeptical going into the match due to WWE always fucking up a big match with Styles, but they didn't. Great spot with the reverse suplex and the quote Falcon Arrow. The stop counter into the Styles Clash was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
4.25. Yeah, I can't. It was a great match.
You fucking mark. Continue on.
WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston defends against Kevin Owens. 14 minutes, 10 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 3.5. I gave it 3. Crowd was dead for most of it. This is another thing that you and me and Travis were arguing about. The crowd, they should have split the card up with the last 3 matches.
Yep. I was arguing with Dell over the same thing.
Kofi needed a clean win.
Yeah.
For his first big title defense, and Owens was the right guy to do it.
Yeah.
It was another right call made by WWE in the clean win. The effort was there, but again, the crowd was just not into it.
Because they just got gut punched from the last match. So that makes sense.
Which we'll get into in a couple other shows that we're going to be reviewing here as to why it's such a big problem on the main roster for crowd fatigue, but not on NXT or even in the indies where crowd fatigue is not.
It's basically non-existent.
It's amazing how main roster you're sitting there and you're like, man, even live, like I'll get into it when I do my live thing, but even live I'm like, this show is too long. Mm-hmm. So
well, I could simply tell you why. The one reason why, from the finish to one match to the start of another, how much time goes by?
Right.
In an indies match, it's literally a minute and a half.
Yep.
You gotta get that shit out there now. In even like Impact, where they have the time constraints of we gotta do this in 3 hours because let's say they booked in New York and they're paying $400 a fucking hour for a goddamn ambulance. You know, you gotta get your shit in. So where WWE can afford to spend an extra $400 or nothing because they have their own ambulance on the road, you know, it's ridiculous. And they can afford to do that kind of shit.
Chip, your take on the WWE title?
I give it 4 stars. I just think that it was good for Kofi to get clean. I'm glad to see that WWE can medal in any match, but leave the main titles seen alone. I'm okay with that. I really thought Owens was going to win to a point, but I'm glad to see him take the fall for Kofi.
I want to point out something to you. Just because it happened on this show does not mean they don't fuck up with their main titles.
No, well, trust me, I've seen plenty. I would know.
We've gotten 2 in a row that's lucky.
We'll talk about that at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So
okay. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
You overrating piece of shit. Let me just get that out of the way now.
Yeah, if you call this match tonight, fuck you.
Ali versus Andre versus Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor versus Randy Orton versus Ricochet. None of those are the winner. For one. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 4.5. I gave it 4.75.
Whoa.
I think this was the best Money in the Bank ladder match I have seen. But of course they fuck up the finish.
I was laughing
so bad. Literally, right after Lesnar won, I literally texted the group and said, what? And then that started another fight.
Considering that I couldn't respond for about 45 to 50 seconds because I actually pissed myself laughing. So What in the fuck?
How was Balor still alive?
How was Baylor still alive? How was most of the guys took nasty ass bumps?
They were
I thought Finn.
physical.
I literally thought Finn died.
They took that fucking spot, that sunset flip. Oh, that was insane. He's like,
okay,
ow.
so here's a great example. The difference between that spot and the Sami Callihan Rich Swann spot where he takes the pile driver to the guardrail. Night and day difference.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Why do you try and do that to yourselves?
I don't know. But my notes were Balor almost died. Orton still hates cruiserweights.
Orton has his love for hatred of cruiserweights.
Orton disappeared for like 3/4 of the match.
Everyone had time to shine.
Yeah.
Which makes this the most frustrating Money in the Bank ladder match with the way it ended. The best Money in the Bank match I've seen. Again, they fucked up the finish. Lesnar winning the match without being in it is ridiculously stupid. For one, he's not in the match. That's
one, he's not in the match.
Two, he's Brock fucking Lesnar. He doesn't need the Money in the Bank.
He is Money in the Bank.
Right. It's an insult to literally every single one of their performers that went out there and busted their asses. And then Lesnar comes down. It's an insult. It's a fucking insult. And this is the third Money in the Bank in a row. Well, Corbin in 2017, he's up and coming. I can get it. But Strowman last year and Lesnar this year didn't need it. They fucked up Money in the Bank for 2 years in a row.
Not only did they fuck up Money in the Bank 2 years in a row, but the post part of Money in the Bank. 2017 was terrible with Baron.
Because he doesn't know how to cash in.
Right. 2018 was even dumber.
Because he did it during a Hell in a Cell match before he announced it and then didn't bring the briefcase with him. And it ended in a no contest anyway.
Yeah. How do you... Okay. And now we have Brock fucking rockin' beats here. You know, I mean, the GIF factory just blew up over the weeks afterwards, but to put it on him has been just...
It's a comedy. Brock Lesnar is now in a comedy spot on the show. Brock Lesnar. And by the way, I looked up what he fucking did on Raw. Why didn't he cash in on Seth Rollins there? He beat the shit out of him. Just because he can? Which proves my point is you don't need Brock Lesnar as your Money in the Bank winner.
Well, that's the other problem with it, is that Brock Lesnar's entire thought process behind all of this was that he didn't realize what Money in the Bank was.
Was he R-Truth now?
Basically, yes. Because that was the whole thing the first week when he came out to talk about who he's going to cash in on. And Heyman's like, you have a year to cash in. Really? You didn't fucking tell me this shit, and starts beating on Heyman. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Is it funny? The little bits and pieces of it? Yeah. Do I love comedy wrestling? Yeah. Does anybody else on this show love comedy wrestling? Probably not. No. I know you don't, Fat Man. No. But I mean, just the reality of the situation is that you've put this amazing match together and then you just literally fuck everyone in the match after them putting their life and their careers on the line to take these spots just so you can parade Brock Lesnar out so he can probably cash in at the fucking Jeddah show.
He's cashing in on Kofi Kingston. He ain't cashing in on Seth Rollins.
It doesn't fucking matter who he's cashing it on because he'll be gone in 6 months and that title will be gone too.
True.
So it's like, fuck you. It's really a big fuck you. And that's part of the reason why I really don't think it was the best match of the night. Because you had all these spots, you had all these great moments, but it's completely and utterly marred by the stupidity of the booking.
All right, let me get Chip's thoughts on this.
Okay. All of the credit to the wrestlers that were in the actual match. But there was a technically there was a vacant spot open in that match. Remember that. From the beginning, there was a vacant spot open because they kicked Braun Strowman out of the match.
No.
But
Sami Zayn took his spot.
Sami Zayn wasn't in that match.
Doesn't matter. They did not name his replacement. Therefore, there was no vacancy.
There was an open spot, though, is what I'm saying.
No, there wasn't.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I need to bitch about that too. So you're going to tell me one of, quote unquote, the biggest heels on SmackDown, because he's been a dickhole. Raw. I don't even fucking know anymore.
I don't even watch the show.
Well, the fucking wild card thing just makes everything a mess now. So you don't even know who's on the fucking shows anymore. But you have Sami Zayn, one of the top heels, because he's shitting on fans. He's literally doing the best work of his heel career doing this kind of shit. And he gets beaten down by Brock Lesnar, who's also a heel. So you have Triple H pull the baby face, oh, he's one of my NXT guys, make sure you take care of him, when he's been a heel all this time, just so you can have a heel Brock Lesnar cash in. What? Or heel Brock Lesnar come into the match and win it with no effort.
And they literally on commentary during this match said that they didn't name a replacement, so this spot wasn't open.
Yeah, there was no spot open.
So,
I'm going to make the ultimate heel turn here, pun intended.
Don't break anything.
I kind of like Brock Lesnar coming back. I don't know why. I really don't. Don't ask me why. I do not know. But
I don't mind him coming back
years ago. Remember when I first started? You all had the wrestling aspect. I had the character aspect and the performance aspect. Mm-hmm. Well, to me, Brock Lesnar goes from being a heel to being a comedic character, so they're helping evolve his character.
No, they're not evolving.
No, you're entitled.
They're devolving.
I'm just saying
they're devolving. I mean, and to be fair, I understand where you're coming from, Chip. My problem with it is that there's nowhere to go with a wrestler that basically isn't there every week.
But the funny thing is that now they can make him a joke. He's still getting paid out the ass. He doesn't need to fucking act like a heel. He can act like a goof.
See, that's not the point, though. The point was, I don't mind Lesnar being back. Just keep him away from titles. You don't need him as the title.
He's an attraction.
Yes, you don't need him with titles. You don't.
Well, that's true.
So, what's the point of putting money in the bank on him? So he can destroy Kofi Kingston? Who you had this feel-good moment for, now you're just going to ruin it by Lesnar coming in? Which, again, it's going to be ruined anyway by somebody, because, that's how stories work.
Biggie.
But
I still think they're eventually going to break up soon.
But why Lesnar? It makes no sense. The whole point of Money in the Bank is to have an up-and-comer person on that upper mid-card level who's about ready to get a push. And now you're giving it to Brock Lesnar? And let's talk about what you and Travis were discussing about how my experience was of it. People cheered, right? They cheered Lesnar winning. They were not cheering on their way out of that building. They were pissed. And Travis is like, well, then it worked. No, it wasn't like, oh man, I can't believe Brock Lesnar won. It was like, really? Him again? It was frustration. It wasn't like heat. It was pissed off frustration as to how they fucked that up, and they fucked it up.
Can I do a throwback to something where this happened again in a place I was live at?
Sure.
Back in Pittsburgh, Royal Rumble, when they brought Batista as the last person. I want to say 2010, 2011?
14.
Was it 14?
No, I don't know. I was with Eleanor, so I was married at the time. So yeah. Anyways, they had Bautista. Well, that's how he got his name, Bautista, because he came out as the last person. I forget who they wanted. Who we all wanted.
Danielson.
They wanted Danielson that year.
Yeah, that's what it was. But it's the same thing happened. They brought out Dave Bautista.
Yeah, but they booed him. They were cheering Lesnar, and then they're like, "Oh wait." On their way out, like, oh, wait, that sucked. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, Brock Lesnar's here. Like, oh, yeah, Brock Lesnar. And then he won, and it's like, oh, shit, he won.
Well, and that's how it fans' reactions were in Pittsburgh when we all left too.
It was frustration, and it was absolutely ridiculousness. And again, Money in the Bank is a great concept. Why are they fucking it up?
Well, they haven't fucked it up for the women's.
They did the first time.
Oh, yeah. That's also true.
So
here's the women's Money in the Bank match. Let's have a guy win. Let's have a guy win it.
Yeah.
That was so dumb. I think, I guess the big question is, what do you consider heat? What do you consider the precipice of, hey, I don't want you to like this guy. This is what we want to do with you to make sure that the fans don't like you. There's that type of heat, and then there's they fucked up so badly here that it's not heat on the wrestler. It's heat on the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that's the
heat is going to a different place.
And a lot of people, Travis is one of them, that basically says
heat's heat.
Heat is heat no matter what. And WWE is going to get heat on themselves no matter what, because they're just such a big company. And that's not true, because there's guys in this company that truly get heel heat on their own. Sami Zayn being one of them.
Kevin Owens is a big one. Mm-hmm. You know, these guys know what they're doing to get heat on themselves. Doing this kind of finish does not give them heat on that performer. It gives them heat on the company. And unfortunately, the reality of this, and we'll probably talk about this way more, probably not another show because we need to, the whole Jon Moxley thing. But you and Chip talk, guess what I got to do?
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's got to fucking pee. So I guess the big problem I have with all of this is that once you start pushing the fact that, okay, you've made a poor decision, there's heat on the company, then people get pissed at WWE Creative, and you have that whole shit.
I was recently, I'm not sure if you watched after NXT TakeOver, but they debuted a new Triple H 24 on WWE Network, and it was talking about all the things that he went through going from the week of WrestleMania, starting in DC all the way to New York. All the hats he wears, it really gave a behind-the-scenes look. And I know that Jon Moxley shit on the WWE Creative.
He didn't, actually.
The Talk is Jericho.
He did not. If you believe he was shitting on WWE Creative, you need to go back and listen to that podcast again.
No, maybe I will. But I'm just reading articles that I've read about the podcast. I've heard the podcast once. I was getting pod night before I go to bed. But how it goes and how they basically, well, of course, Vince writes everything. We know that. But it seemed like he said he was going from place to place doing spot to spot doing any whatever interview he had to do, and he said after a while he just lost track of what he was doing. I mean, I believe that's how it is, but it just seems I don't know. And
to be fair, Triple H is taking over the responsibility of NXT. That's why technically, yeah, he wears a lot of hats, and yes, he does a lot of things. But when it comes to main roster, he is not the one truly in charge when it comes to creative. And that's the big problem right now, is that he's basically the company's getting heat and creative's getting a shit ton of heat. We've lost Chip, as always.
What a fucking mark.
As usual. God damn him. Well, if he comes back, whatever. But I guess just to finish up my point a little bit is that at the end of the day, it was Vince's decision for a lot of the stuff. And I'm sure it was Vince's decision to have Brock win Money in the Bank, because I'm sure they wanted Brock to work fucking Jeddah.
They could have had Brock work Jeddah without being Money.
Exactly. But what did you think's happened? Either it got out that they were going to put, Strowman in that spot and have him win, or, at the last minute, they decided, let's do something different with Lesnar, so now we don't have to worry about the Money in the Bank. Yeah, we've completely lost Chip, unfortunately. But anywho, so overall thoughts on the show and your live experience. What do you have?
Okay, so I said I thought the show was better live in person than it was on TV, and that's normally the opposite. Normally it's better on TV than it is live.
Yeah.
The crowd noise on the TV didn't come across well at all. It was way louder in the building than it was on TV, which again is Chip doesn't know what happened, which again is completely opposite from what it normally is. Normally the crowd's noise is up. It was a frustrating show. WWE knows how to tell stories when they want to. Bayley winning, Becky keeping the Raw title and losing it to Charlotte, and Bayley winning Money in the Bank, Becky keeping the Raw title, and Charlotte winning and Becky cashing in. It was a great story, but yet, and Kofi winning clean against the talented heel. They're all right calls, but somehow some of the endings and segments were ridiculous. Lesnar obviously winning, Shane winning was stupid, and the Reigns, Elias, and Lars Sullivan segment, which we didn't talk about, could have been moved to the pre-show and would have,
or done on Raw. Oh wait, it was,
and would have gotten the same results.
Maybe it would have been better if it did it 2 weeks in a row on Raw. Oh wait, they did it again. Oh wait, let's see if we'll do it next week.
And then it's weird for Chip. The show was
Yeah, oh well.
The shows are too long for the live crowd to sit through.
How many hours was that for you?
They opened the doors at 5. The pre-show started at 6. The show ended at 10:40. So
That's not a stupidly long show, but it's not short by any
it's
stretch.
5.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean but to be fair, that pre-show is what, one match, and then you sit for like a half hour, or you sit for a half hour and then you get the match, one or the other. So when you're actually getting wrestling, it's like,
Yeah, so it's fine, but at the same time, like we was talking about earlier, how is it that WWE's main roster, their fatigue is ridiculous?
Okay, that was whack as shit. I have no idea what happened.
it's all good.
Mark's back. I'm just talking about my live experience and how it was too long, which you have a probably better experience on that too.
Yeah,
But-
a little bit.
But WWE needs to. They had the WWE title in the dead spot. They should have split up the shows, shipped the matches to make the show feel a little bit better. 6 out of 10.
Well, here's the thing about that, and you're never going to get a shorter show, because even though the matches may be shorter and stuff, there's going to be always those blocks of times for fucking advertisement of some sort, whether it be another show they're promoting.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, yes.
Super Showdown, which was for Australia.
But we have to call it Super Showdown now, because if we call it Crown Jewel, everyone knows it's from fucking Jeddah. Or if we call it the greatest
Royal Rumble,
it's gonna know.
Oh, by the way, a 50-man battle royal. You're gonna 50 men in that fucking ring? Fuck you.
Go fuck yourself. But yeah, we had to use Super Showdown because fuck you. Because we have to tarnish other things. But anywho, you're never going to get away from that, because WWE makes money on the advertisements. And as long as there's advertisements, you're going to have stupidly long shows, because you're going to have stupidly long, stupid fucking segments in between the show, in between the matches. There's points in the match where you don't really have cooldown matches anymore, because the fucking cooldown is the fucking 15-minute advertisement for fucking fuck all. So.
While you're having a heart attack over there, what are your final thoughts on the show?
It was an okay show for a house show.
Okay, Chip.
For this being my first pay-per-view first wrestling show since Mania, I would give it maybe 5 out of 10. I wasn't a fan of it too much. My two highlights of the show were the Money in the Bank at the end and the AJ and Seth show match.
Oh, it was the AJ and Seth show. Ignore Fat Man completely.
I'm right.
You're never right.
All right, you're. I'm always right. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, obviously, I haven't listened to the show in a while. I'm always right. You're. Since we're talking about Money in the Bank, let's talk about Chip's appearance at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because we needed that.
Oh my god. So when you talk about shows being too long, you have no fucking right to argue this.
Actually, I do. We went to Mania last year. Remember?
Yeah.
With
and
you.
Even longer.
I know.
You know what? I didn't realize that I could do a whole day's of work, 8 hours, at a pay-per-view. Guess what? It can be fucking done.
Explain.
It went from 5 p.m. till 12:45.
Oh, yeah. It was terrible.
I like literally I dozed off part of the show because it was just nonstop, and most of the matches were boring as fuck. As much as I love traveling with the guys, and you, Fat Man, went to Dallas, and you, Sleazy, seen you guys in New Orleans, I don't know if I can do another Mania. I mean, it's just getting too redundant, too stupid. I'm wasting too much damn money down there. I'm wasting too much damn time down there. I mean, I'm having fun. I had a blast in Jersey with Dell and John and Angela when we went up there. It was a blast, but it's just too fucking long.
Well, we're going next year.
Yeah.
So
We already have
You're going to Tampa?
We already have our hotel booked.
not only do we have our hotel
You know,
booked,
I say this now, and I love Tampa, so I'll probably be down there as well.
Good, I'll pick you up on my way again. I'm driving down again.
so funny story about
You're
that.
driving down to Tampa. Oh God.
Well, I am too. I mean, I'm probably doing it separately
Well, that's
because
true. You came from Toronto last time.
You won't this time.
nope, I will not be. But I will say this.
Okay.
Sleazy?
Where was I going with that?
Funny thing.
Yeah, that we didn't go to the show that was 6 hours away.
We're going to the show that's 20 hours away.
Yeah, because well, here's the other thing: is you were we kind of talked about this, and plans are as always subject to change, like every other fucking card. But you were like, well, the only show I'm going to go to is probably Mania and maybe Takeover. And I'm like, I'm going to hit every indie show and probably won't even do Mania. Because honestly, of all the shows down there, the one I probably will have the least fun amount of time is Mania.
The funny thing is, it's flipped. The show I want to go to is Takeover, and I may be doing Mania.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're both in agreement in the fact that if we really had to, we'll do Mania because to say we're at Mania.
Well, and the person I was supposed to go to, she never been to WrestleMania, and she wanted to go. Now she, decided to, graduate college early, so she's not available in this. Yeah, she's improving her life. How dare her?
How dare she?
So
dare
I need someone else to go with me.
Chip.
So. You still owe me money, fucker, by the way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm fucking dealing with disability right now, trying to pay my rent.
Okay, so guess what? Fat Man's going to send me down there and make your left leg look like your right leg.
All right, Brian from Family Guy, Stewie, whatever that scene was.
All right. Okay, is that
That was actually a Kingpin reference, you fucker.
Well, I was calling Family Guy reference, but okay.
Run, there's a shit cloud coming. How was okay? I want to get a fan's perspective. How did you drive, or did you?
That was great. You just slipped that one right in. That was great,
Mark. No, for the transit, supposed to be the transit issue. Did you guys drive or take the subway?
We drove up to Jersey, and when we went to Supercard Honor, we took to the New Jersey Transit Independence Station, and right there is Madison Square Garden.
Right. I'm talking about after Mania.
No, we drove.
Okay, so you didn't have a problem.
No, not at all. I mean, getting out of Mania was a bitch. I remember being a lot easier when I was there the last time. But no, this is a motherfucker getting out.
All right.
There were rumors that
The New Jersey Transit wasn't running subways. There was no taxis or nothing, just Ubers.
Oh, that is true. That did happen.
Okay.
That there were people, just lines and gobs of people waiting for shit to go. It was like, I guess at midnight they shut down or something because it was almost 1 a.m. by the time the stadium emptied.
yeah.
I guess they shut down at 10 o'clock at night, and that's when WB told them the show was going to end, which is bullshit because the last Mania was there ended at 11.
10 o'clock.
Last Mania there ended at 11, so
That's absolutely not right.
right.
Yeah.
They're just putting excuses.
But it was bad. It was bad because it was starting to rain as we were leaving too. I was
Jesus.
the only one awake in the car until we got to the Jersey Turnpike, and I fell asleep, and then we ended up back in Jersey. I mean, not in Jersey, where we were in Jersey. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
But it was just, because there are just gobs and gobs of people out there. Not to mention it was hard getting out of there than it's getting out of a damn concert venue in Virginia, which is pretty hard.
Well, yeah, they force you basically on the turnpike.
Yep.
Yeah, basically. But it was just, I felt so bad because it was starting to rain and people had no jackets, no hoods, no umbrellas because it wasn't in the forecast. Fuck you, Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, you're the North. That's East. Never mind.
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's one of those things where if you look at the transit lines going in and out of East Rutherford back to New York, that should have been a no-brainer, but it wasn't. Before we continue, I do want to give a shout out to one of our new sponsors. We have a brand new sponsor called GamingSkull.com. GamingSkull.com is a brand new website for high-end gaming equipment. Your new high-end monitors, high-end keyboards, mice, everything in regards to PC gaming. Go to GamingSkull.com, pick up all your gaming needs. If you use the code SAFM, you get 10% off your order. So anything you go to purchase at GamingSkull.com, you get 10% off your order using the code SAFM. Check out their stuff. It's a lot of great stuff. I'm planning on putting in my first order by the end of this week. So
Yes, Warley.
yeah, spoiler, but yeah. So let's go to Double or Nothing because I'm the fucking indie mark here.
This segment's going to suck because Sleazy's running it.
Yeah, as usual. Because you just fucking... Okay, so...
By the way, we're going to fight.
Oh, bitch, yeah, you are.
I am. I'm going to fight.
Yeah, you're going to fight yourself.
Yeah, we're going to fight on this.
Okay, so, Chip, did you watch the pre-show?
Yeah, I did. Someone was streaming it live on Facebook. That's how I watched it.
Okay, so for people...
I did not.
Really?
Really. It wasn't where I was watching it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, well, they had it everywhere, though. I mean, it was... so, funny enough, it was supposed to be on the Being the Elite's YouTube channel. It wasn't. It ended up being on TNT's channel, which was kind of cool and kind of weird at the same
really? Okay.
respect. They also had on Bleacher Report Live and other things. But anywho, we'll start off by the 21-man Casino Royale Battle Royal. The winner receives an AEW World Championship match. This was a great start to the show, I thought.
Oh, it was. As soon as I saw that match, the way that went off, I'm like, this is going to be a good fucking show.
I felt it was a great entry into a lot of the top indie talent, having a couple guys in there that were kind of legends like Billy Gunn, but also introducing new people that a lot of, mainstream wrestling fans don't really know about. Having Adam Page was kind of an obvious solution because of the whole Adam Page Pac thing. MJF is, he's a terrible person. Yeah. I hate him a lot.
It's a great deal.
He's eaten my ass at least once.
There is video proof of that.
I do have video proof of that.
Oh my God. Don't need to see it.
Well, a lot of people did. And, anywho, I thought the match was, for a battle royal, it was well done. We had a lot of cool entrance, so you had a lot of cool. It was a great way to introduce the AEW roster, I think.
Fucking Glacier was there.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I didn't realize he was still around.
And there's a thought that he's going to be around for a while. So him, Ty Dillinger, using his other name.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of good spots. A lot of it wasn't a. I think I'm overhyping this a little bit. It was about a 2.5 star match, but it was a great. It was a great way to show off what the roster looks like, and I think it was a great way to open the show, especially on a free pre-show of this magnitude.
Yeah, no, I agree. And oh my God, does Luke Perry's son look scarcely like Luke Perry?
Yeah, he does. Jungle Boy is fucking amazing,
like,
though.
Whoa, yeah.
Jungle Boy's cool.
No, it was, yeah, we'll get to that part later on. All right.
Second pre-show match was Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these two guys. I know they
missed this match. I was headed somewhere.
Okay, so unfortunately, then that means it's just left with me to shit on it. Which is probably, to be fair, it's probably unfair of me to do it because I really don't like the styles of these two guys. Did they put on a passable match? Yeah, but I just really didn't like it. I would give it like 2 stars, and people would probably yell at me for saying that, but I don't really give a shit because whatever. Main card. We start off with a 6-man tag, SoCal Uncensored, versus, so they're Japanese wrestlers, but they're working for a Chinese promotion, despite the fact Jim Ross didn't seem to realize that or something. I don't know what the hell he thought. It's, Strong Hearts, which is Sema, T-Hawk, and El Lindemann. 6-man tag match. I thought it was a decent way to open the show, but it left a bit to be desired for me. What do you think, Fat?
I was like, when I saw it, I was just like, all right, this has the makings to be a good match, and then the end happened, and I'm like, well, I knew he was going to get pinned the whole time, so okay, that's disappointing.
I
gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a good match. It was kind of a mess also.
It was all over the place.
There was too much standing around waiting for a spot. Standing around waiting for a spot. Like, it just seemed like the timing was off.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 100%. I'm just surprised that you, despite saying that, you gave it 3 stars.
It was still a good match.
Yeah.
But it just, yeah.
Next match. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the 3-way match, Dr. Britt Baker, quote unquote, Mrs. Adam Cole.
Mrs. Who?
Mrs. Adam Cole.
Ah.
Yeah. Nyla Rose and Kylie Ray. Oops. Oh yeah, it's now a fatal 4-way because Awesome Kong is now in fucking AEW. Holy shit. I marked the fuck out. Shit. I absolutely lost my shit watching this. And honestly, I really liked the match and how it was paced. You had the two big, I hate saying it that way, but it's true. The two big women take themselves out of the match and have Britt and Kylie, be like to get this win.
They anchored the match.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, and the reality of this match was that you need to start off with a few women's feuds, and this was the perfect way of doing it.
Yep, you got 2 feuds started right away. Now Rose and Awesome Kong and Britt and Kylie. And
everyone in the match really worked well together. I give it 3 3/4 stars personally.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it was really well done. Best women's match I've seen in a while, actually, regardless of what promotion it's been.
You haven't been watching a lot of women's wrestling, have you?
No.
Okay.
I told you I haven't.
That's very clear now.
Oh, by the way, Dave Meltzer gave the first match 4 stars. He gave...
Go fuck yourself, Dave.
He gave this match 3. I'm about with you. I gave it 3.5.
Yeah.
The match started off sloppy, but it picked up. I was impressed by Britt and Kylie because they're the first time I've ever seen, and Nia Rose. or Nyla Rose. The first time I've ever seen them work. I was really impressed. I thought.
Second time.
What was the first time?
All in.
Oh,
At least with Britt Baker.
I don't remember. Kong was the worst part of the match. Everything she did looked sloppy and slow. I think the match was really good, but probably should have just been a singles match between Baker and Kylie. It would have probably been better.
I agree with that to a point. I only disagree with it because it's the first main show of AEW, and they needed everyone on the roster.
In my overall notes, it says it was a WrestleMania show where they needed to get everybody on the card.
Yeah.
So I understand
very
it.
Weird.
So because there was too many multi-man matches.
Oh God, yes.
So
Holy shit.
That was
yes.
another critique I had. But anyway,
But you can understand why they did.
I understand why they did it, yeah.
So, we have another tag team match. Angelico and Jack Evans, team I Hate Lucha Underground, I guess, versus Best Friends. Oh my goodness. What a very friendship-based match this was. I like it. I love Chuck Taylor. Anyone who knows me knows I love Chucky
Hey,
T.
no one kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
No one kicks out of
Except
the Falcon.
everyone kicks out of the Falcon Arrow. Literally everyone.
No one kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
Was that Excalibur that made that comment?
Yes. Well, that was
Fucktard.
That's Excalibur's thing. That was his thing in PWG and obviously in other promotions too. But yeah, I mean, the match was nice. Fat Man, can you give me anything?
I thought it was nice. I thought it was fucking great.
12
minutes, 35 seconds. Fuck damn, I was give it 3 3/4. I give it 4 1/4. I thought it was fucking great.
I gave it Dave Meltzer, so I mean,
You're wrong.
I'm obviously wrong. Chip, what did you think about the match first?
I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. The buddying got a little annoying to me, but I know that's what they do. But to see Jack Evans and Angelico flying around like old times when I used to watch him on Lucha Underground, and I think one of them was in TNA I used to watch, and it was just great to see them back together. And the smug attitude that Jack Evans has, I just love.
He reminds me of Spanky.
Yeah.
But great match. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
So he didn't say anything about it. You didn't say anything about it. I'm surprised no one said anything about it. The best spot of the match
Was the hug?
Yeah. With the Rainmaker zoom out?
Yeah.
That was the best fucking part of the match. Come on. In a walk. I'm like, ah. And then post match, I creamed myself. Holy fucking shit. The Super Smash Brothers are actually working shows in the US again. And for AEW, no less. Holy shit.
Was that the match where like all the minions came out?
Yes.
I confused that with the fucking Young Bucks match for some reason. I don't know why.
What?
Probably because it should have happened then. But
okay. That's who they were? Because I was like,
Yeah,
I know them, but I don't fucking know who they are.
yeah, it's the Super Smash Brothers. They won't be called the Super Smash Brothers in AEW, I'm sure.
Because the crowd
but-
was like, who are you? I'm like, I know who they are, but I can't fucking...
And they also look a lot different since the last time they worked in the US.
Right.
So, and when they last worked in the US, they were working for promotions like Chikara. So,
What?
Yeah, Chikara.
You do not mention that name.
I
on this
absolutely
promotion.
mentioned this name. In fact, one of the referees is the senior referee.
It was on this match.
Yeah, who was for that reason alone, because Bryce Rensburg, friend of the wrestling show.
Yes.
Always have to put that out there. He was nice enough to do us an interview a long time ago to promote a Chikara show of all things. But anywho, having the Super Smash Brothers there is amazing. They're great, great talents. I'm so happy that they've got a major place that they can show off their craft. They've changed completely their gimmicks since them really working in the U.S. last time. Evil Uno worked the show with Excite, I want to say a couple years ago, on his own because, frankly speaking, Stu was still in immigration prison, basically. That was around the same time like Mike Bailey got caught, Sleazy Sparks got caught, Elgin got caught too, but he got off lightly because Ring of Honor basically covered for him at the time.
Yep.
But in the grand scheme of things, I'm so glad that they're back in the States. They absolutely deserve that spot. Okay. I know you know one of the people of the next match, and I don't think anybody else knows any of them, any of the others. It's a 6-woman tag team match. Hikaru Shida, Ryo Mizunami, went against Yuka Sazaki. Oh God, I'm so bad at this. Sorry, you guys.
Order more Chinese and Japanese. Order more Japanese food, Sleazy.
Yeah, well, I married in.
I was just gonna say.
Oh, that's true. You did.
Like, don't you know how to speak Asian?
Yeah. Well, you have Yuka Sazuzaki, Emi Sakura, and the one I obviously know is Aja Kong, that everyone should know here. In this amazing, well, I don't want to say it's amazing, but it was a great. How should I put this? It was a showcase match for Aja Kong. Okay, let's be perfectly honest here. It wasn't the greatest match in the world, but it was, it was decent.
Which was funny because in my notes it said really good match. Aja Kong kept up with the other 5 women, even though she looked like she could barely walk to the ring.
Yeah.
So that was super surprising. It said impressive performances all around, 3.5 stars.
Yeah. It was not as good as the match that the 4 women had.
I think I gave the same rating. I did.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then for you. For me, I didn't think it was as good as the Fatal 4-Way, but it was still a decent match. And like I said, it was a showcase for Aja Kong.
Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 3 3/4.
Chip, what do you think?
You're cutting out.
That's great. That is amazing work there, Chip.
You're cutting out.
Then I'll have to go back and watch it again.
Okay.
I'll give it 3.5.
Okay. Now everyone get their fucking gloves on. Shit is going down here.
Here we go. I'm ready.
Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes.
Chip first, because we're going to see how wrong you are.
Well, that's probably true.
Chip, to be fair,
very slow. I'm sorry, what?
To be fair, Chip, one of us is going to be pissed at you. We just don't know who it's going to be.
All right. First off, let me start this, and I called it right from the beginning. When they started the entrance for Cody, and they had the AAA, the crown, and the German cross, and then when he went down and went to get the sledgehammer and destroyed the throne, I fucking loved every minute of that.
Stupid. It was stupid. He's the heel getting a pop, knowing he's going to get a pop. Fucking stupid.
All right.
Fucking stupid.
When Dustin Rhodes came
no
down
point
as
of it.
Natural.
No point of it. It was stupid. It was just a fuck you to Triple H, and Triple H doesn't even care. So it was fucking, let's waste money on this shit. It was fucking stupid.
I do like the fact that Dustin came down as a natural. Set it right down his back. I liked them. It was cool they finally got a match, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually. The ending is kind of curious, but when he started the speech, it just flashed back to the American Dream, the speech he had with Dustin back in WCW. It was almost word for word verbatim, but I enjoyed it. I give it 3 3/4. Now, who did I piss off?
Okay, now we know which side you're fucking on, you piece of shit.
Okay,
there it is.
You piss Sleazy off. Okay, Sleazy, go.
What in the... Okay, so let me deal with the cross thing first. And the chair. I am 100% agreeing on you on that. They should have done that at the very beginning of the show. They absolutely should have separated that.
They should have done that when they announced AEW.
Maybe so.
Press conference, not at the show.
Press conference. But definitely not at the beginning of this match where he's supposed to be this big heel. That being said, holy fucking shit, what an amazing match. And you can probably see where Fat Man's going to be here on this, but I think the blade job was impeccable. I thought it brought back shades of Bret Hart versus Steve Austin. I thought every piece of the match was well done. I thought every single punch, every single strike mattered. Every single move mattered. The story they told in the ring, the psychology of it all was top notch. I can't think of a single thing wrong with the actual match.
There was one botch in it. Right at the beginning when they went to the outside. It was a botch. Don't even question it. It was a botch. So there was one thing in your mind that was wrong.
Okay.
Whatever.
Take the botch.
Okay.
Whatever. Shit happens in the ring.
Yes.
I'm still going to sit here and defend this match to the fucking death. It was absolutely the best match on the card. It was absolutely a match of the year contender for sure. Anybody who says it's not a match of the year contender, I'm not saying it's going to be match of the year because there are so many great, go fuck yourself. Because there were so many great matches already this year, but I will definitely say it's a match of the year contender for sure. And anybody who says different is a fucking asshole and should be basically euthanized. So,
wow.
So Fat Man.
Chip, you're going to be euthanized, motherfucker. Absolutely a 5-star match.
Okay, good.
Absolutely a 5-star match. I was trying to bait you.
You baited me, but
I was like, Chip, I was like, man, I just don't feel like this is going to be good because every time they tried to attempt it or did it, it was terrible. I'm like, man, I was skeptical going in, and the match exceeded my expectations. Exceeded it 100%. Just with that, it was one botch, but it was still a 5-star match.
I still don't. I mean, yeah, it was a botch, but
it is a match of the year candidate. It's not my match of the year, though.
I don't think it will be for me either.
But it's still up there. Absolutely a fantastic match. I said the old school blade job makes it matter.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's just the importance of
it did make it look like the Bret Hart Steve Austin match.
I'm not even comparing that. I'm comparing that. If you have an emotional feud, blood matters. It just brings out more drama. Mm-hmm. And I think this is absolutely the best match of both men's careers.
In a walk.
Easily in a walk. The speech and hug, it got me. I ain't gonna lie. There was a tear.
There's a lot of onions being cut.
So, I mean, it got me. Absolutely a 5-star match. I was trying to bait and switch sleazy.
It was a great placement for the show.
Didn't work.
It was a great placement for it in the show.
Oh, you didn't think I was gonna shit on this match, did you? For real?
I didn't think so, but you've been doing weird shit lately. There's I mean, you've been drinking a lot of Pepsi. Also not a sponsor, by the way. Although, Pepsi, if you would like to sponsor me personally and give me Kickstart every day for the rest of my life, I will absolutely wear every single piece of merch that you'll ever give me.
He'll fucking wear a Pepsi condom.
I already have. But I'm not going to tell Pepsi that.
Well, you just did.
I don't think Pepsi's listening to our show.
So we're right and Chip's wrong.
I'm sorry, Chip. You're getting euthanized.
It's been a good life.
So we go from that. Now, I want to point out that once again, the difference between this show and Money in the Bank, this show ended at what, 11?
I don't know.
I want to say
it was like 3 hours.
Replay it and watch your life.
It was like 3.5
3.5
hours, but you got to give another hour for the pre-show, so it's 4.5.
I didn't watch the pre-show, so whatever.
So, but give or take, though, I'm trying to make a generic comparison. The difference between the matches here and the match quality as well are so much different because they packed everything in. We go right from the Cody versus Tyson Rhodes thing to, okay, we're going to show off the title and then have this whole MJF thing, which I found kind of funny.
It wasn't that great. It wasn't.
You didn't like the horsies thing.
It was stupid.
I know a thing or two about horses. Come on, that was funny.
It was terrible.
I know you don't like that shit, but
It was just awful.
I get you don't like that shit, but I liked it. Mainly because of probably the people involved. But we get right into the Young Bucks match. Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we just had basically a 5-star classic in the previous match. And then the Young Bucks are out there to fucking light it the fuck up with the Lucha Brothers. This one's only a little bit worse than that match, but it's still an amazing match. I mean, we're talking the difference between 4 3/4 stars and 5 stars, in my opinion. Chip, what do you think?
4 3/4. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great to see the Lucha Brothers. It's not like anyone kept anything quiet, like how they have to keep their moves quiet. They brought everything but the kitchen sink. Both teams did. And it was great to see an actual match on a pay-per-view other than ROH where they have the ability and are allowed to do that. Like the Young Bucks debuted a new move that night that they have been working on.
A lot of people did so many different things.
So what?
A lot of people did so many things in that match. I can't even think of all the spots. So, Fat Man, you're kind of quiet over there.
For the first time ever, 2 5-star matches back to back.
Really? You absolutely believe it's a perfect match?
I think this match was better than Cody and Dustin.
Wow. Okay.
So do I. But
yeah, obviously you gave Cody and I'm about to euthanize you for your rating.
See, Dave Meltzer also gave it 4 3/4 and the Cody Dustin 5 stars. I think he didn't want to give it 5 stars just so, there's not 2 5-star matches. Just cause. Fuck him. If it's a 5-star match, a 5-star match. Right. I don't understand why you guys don't see why this isn't a 5-star match. Explain to me why it isn't.
My personal opinion is that, and I hate saying it this way, you're gonna laugh at me for saying this, is it had less psychology. It had less psychology than Cody Rhodes Dustin Reynolds match.
I'm not gonna laugh at you because it actually makes sense, but I still think this is a better match.
It goes back to what do you want in professional wrestling?
You know me, I'm a psychology guy, but that was a better match.
And that's kind of what's weird about it.
So you're justifying me as it being a 5 stars.
Maybe so.
Cody does have better psychology, but the Young Bucks match was better. It's a 5-star match. So
maybe it's because I feel like that I've seen a lot of Lucha Brothers matches as of late. Obviously, the Young Bucks haven't been working as much, but you and I have seen Young Buck matches for years now. I mean, and amazing matches at that.
I literally put typical Young Buck match, but better.
Yeah, because
best Bucks match I've ever seen. End of story.
Yeah, so I mean, and I'm not sure if I could point to a better Young Bucks match. So maybe. Well, I'm usually wrong in this circumstance, but I feel like that.
Did Chip just say yup?
Yeah, usually, yeah. But I feel like that of the two, you
were more emotionally invested in Cody and Dustin,
and that's probably why I feel better.
But at the same time, the Young Bucks match is better. Maybe not emotionally, maybe not psychology, maybe not story-wise, but wrestling-wise, worlds better. It's 5 stars.
Well, the funny thing is that the reason I don't give it a 5 stars is because I don't think in the whole time I've been with this show I've given a 5-star match.
Which is insane. I've given out more 5-star matches this year than I think I have in the previous 10.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And spoiler, there's another one coming.
Hopefully not on this show.
It's not on this show.
Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. Okay.
5 stars. No, I'm kidding. 4 stars.
It would have been 6 stars if it was in the Tokyo Dome.
4 stars. Just a random Cracker Barrel in the ring.
Oh, that was great. That's phenomenal.
Like, why? If they did it just for Jericho to do that, it was dumb.
It was funny. I loved it. I love comedy in wrestling. That was comedy in wrestling.
Great match for two vets, but they seem to be rushing spots.
Yeah, considering the match went 27 goddamn minutes. It was
exactly.
I think it was the longest match on the card.
It was the longest match.
Yeah. So I mean, at that point, it's like, really? I mean, whatever. At that point, it's like they're trying to. I don't want to say they were trying to show off their quote unquote two top stars, especially when you're having, spoiler, Jon Moxley debut that night. But I mean, I mean, I didn't.
It left more to be desired.
You're like, I didn't not like it.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it wasn't the match.
It wasn't Tokyo Dome.
Well, it wasn't a typical Kenny Omega match in the fact that he didn't do the normal.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Because it only went 27 minutes.
Yeah, really.
It was under a half hour, so anything over a half hour, he's got to do that.
Yeah, well, fuck him. Now, and don't get me wrong, he does great matches with the right opponents. I think Jericho is a good opponent for him because Jericho knows how to put him in a spot where he's getting, I don't want to say he's getting cheered, but he's getting more of a face shine, if that makes any sense.
Who, Jericho?
Yeah.
Because he's Jericho.
Because he's fucking Chris Jericho. Yeah. But I mean, the other guys that he's worked with over the years don't really have that ability as well as Jericho does. So it makes his matches better. But that being said, I wasn't a huge fan of the match. I would go around that 4-star mark to say, yeah, it's a great match, but my heart wasn't in it. And partially, I think, was because I just got burnt from two amazing back-to-back matches. So when you compare Jericho versus Omega to those matches, it doesn't stand up.
Oh,
yeah, it doesn't feel like comparison.
Yeah, I agree with that. But again, I didn't feel burnt out, though.
True.
I didn't. Because that was the first wrestling show I'd have watched that day, so. I picked the right order.
You definitely did. I think you would have.
Probably been not as kind if I had to watch Impact first.
Well, I'm glad I watched Takeover first. Because I watched Takeover, and then the last thing I watched before I just gave up was the Impact show.
I watched Takeover this morning.
Well, why don't we talk about that?
Wait, did Chip talk about Jericho Omega?
Fuck Jericho Omega.
I was waiting to see if I was going to get
back. Sure. Go for it.
I thought it was 4.25. It was not the Tokyo Dome match, but it wasn't. It did leave a little more to be desired, of course, following the Young Bucks match. I loved the end of it after the match, but Kenny, I don't think I've ever watched the Kenny Omega match all the way through, like concentrated on it. He's a good worker.
Nah, fuck him.
Funny thing is, Wrestler of the Year 2 years ago, last year, Sleazy's most overrated.
Most overrated wrestler. 100%.
Well.
So yeah, and then obviously Moxley shows up, destroys everything, and
let's talk quickly about Moxley, because everyone pretty much knows what happened because everyone and their brother shared it on social media. To the Young Bucks,
I knew
credit.
about him. Famous all the pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, but I guess my point is, it was one of those open secrets almost. It's like everyone knew he was coming, but not even Jon Moxley really knew he was coming. Really, truly. So I want to kind of do a little sidebar here and say, and Chip and I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but if you haven't listened to the Talk is Jericho podcast with Jon Moxley, I want you to finish this episode and immediately go listen to it. And I truly mean that. I'm not a huge fan of Chris Jericho's podcast. And I'm probably the only wrestler / worker / anybody in the business that really doesn't like Jericho's podcast, but I really don't like his podcast.
Because every 5 seconds there's a fucking promo.
Yeah, he's a little promo heavy. But I really, really, really enjoyed Moxley's interview. And it's an eye-opening confirmation to a lot of things that have been going on in the WWE that people have been kind of alluding to. Some people have misrepresented in news and rumors. Like, for instance, one of the things that came out in the interview, and if you didn't put 2 and 2 together, you kind of missed this, is that when John was doing that big video production for the day he was out of WWE contract and posted that video, he was making that video way back in like January with Sick Nick Mondo. But the thing was that people were kind of alluding to the fact that John Moxley was going out and making movies. That was a rumor that came out, when in reality, he was just going to do this particular promo that they spent a lot of money and a lot of time on. So it's a great sound, and it's great to listen to the show with the eyes of, okay, what's been happening in the last 6, 7, 8 months, and seeing it from a different perspective. It's really eye opening. Absolutely check it out. And now I'm done sucking Jericho's cock. Okay. So let's go to TakeOver.
Well, overall thoughts on Double or Nothing. Great show for the first show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chip.
Definitely.
Can't wait for All Out. Can't wait for their Fight Festival.
Fight for the
Fight
Yeah.
Fight Festival first.
So can't wait for both of them. I am very happy to support AEW in their new journey. I have a lot of friends, and just seeing that company succeed is going to be huge.
Hey, Sleazy.
Yes.
You want to go to Chicago in the end of August?
So you say that.
Catch a Cubs game?
If it wasn't for the fact it's 2 days before school starts, I probably would do it.
Who cares if it's 2 days before school starts? It's before school starts. It's a Saturday.
That's the biggest problem, is that
It's a Saturday. You got to go in that Saturday?
Come back Sunday.
Sometimes I have had to in years past. So
Be like, bitch, I'm going to Chicago.
yeah, that doesn't really work.
NXT TakeOver 25?
25 takeovers in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Which pissed me off.
Because fuck you.
Because I would rather go to that show than fucking Money in the Bank.
I probably could have done that too.
Anyway, show opens with Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong.
Sploosh. Just sploosh.
Okay, that's what Sleazy did. Chip.
I actually missed this match. I was in the middle. I was dealing with something.
What were you dealing with? A
Don't
broken
need to go in my
ankle.
personal life.
Whoa!
What'd he say?
Something in his personal life.
I said,
He
don't
was-
need to go into my personal life on the show.
He was jacking off to my porn.
Quiet. I was checking on the 5-star matches.
So you did watch the show.
Good.
Sploosh.
Hermaphroditic porn?
Yeah, he got into my stash.
He broke into your server. That's why your fan don't work.
Exactly. He overheated my fucking server.
Meltzer star ratings are not out yet.
Yeah, because that show happened Saturday, and
You can't watch a show and put it. Anyway, don't matter. I give it 4.5 stars.
nice opener, I
Nice.
guess.
Great opener. Strong was teaching Matt Riddle about psychology, and Riddle listened. It was Riddle's best NXT match to date, and obviously he will be the future of the company if WWE doesn't fucking ruin him on the main show.
You say that.
Because I know WWE's going to ruin him when he goes called up.
Where's Shinsuke Nakamura again?
Where's Asuka?
Where the fuck is Asuka in a tag
Oh,
team?
by the way, where's the WWE Women's Champions? So Sasha's right?
Of course.
Anyway, ladder match for vacants. Oh, wait, Chip, what do you think about it?
Chip's like, what?
I told you I didn't watch.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't watch the match.
I forgot. Hermaphroditic porn. Ladder match
Overheated by server.
for the vacants NXT Tag Team Championship. Undisputed Era versus the Forgotten Sons versus Street Profits versus Lorcan and Birch.
Oni and Tui. Oni and Tui.
How is Kyle O'Reilly still alive?
I know.
How are a lot of people still alive after
So-
that match?
So,
Undisputed Era took the most fucking bumps in that match.
by far.
By far.
By far.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone was claiming they got hurt at the end of that. So, but
Bobby Fish came out later in the show with his arm in a sling.
yeah.
Sling. Yep.
Yeah.
4.5 stars.
Spoiler, by the way, you motherfucker.
I said later in the show. I didn't say anything else.
Yeah. Why would he come out?
Maybe he wanted to come out. Maybe he was just all like, hi,
Oh.
guys.
I'm sorry.
I'm coming out.
Yeah, well.
See, there's more different ways of coming out, asshole. Coming out, asshole. Ha ha. That's called you a piece of shit.
Jesus Lord.
Didn't you miss us?
Ha ha.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my God.
All right, Chip, what'd you think? Or did you miss this match too?
No. 4.5 stars. I love the shit out of this match. I couldn't. The ending move where he did the springboard jump from the rope to the ladder and knocked Blake off. I mean, it was a weak angle, a weak spot, but it was so cool to see.
I wouldn't consider it a weak spot. I would definitely consider
one punch knocked him off the ladder. I mean,
And he comically fell.
I mean,
He's like, ooh.
uh,
Then he fell.
but to be fair, it had to happen that way because that was the finish.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
It had to happen away because, well, that
was a finish.
Me and Josh were watching each other, and
So-
when he punched him, I was just like, "He's on balance."
So funny aside. One of my favorite things is I am on all sorts of trash bag wrestler Facebook pages, and one of the ones was a clip of this man that does a shooting star press onto another guy in the ring, and it looks like that it's decent, except he completely misses him, and then covers the guy for the 3. I mean, it's not even close. He is 2 feet away from the guy doing. He's so far away, and he just crawls over after he finishes the shooting star press. Crawls over and covers the guy and he takes a 3 over it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just redo the spot. At that point, you got to do the spot. You made him look like an asshole. You made you both look like assholes. But I mean, so. Back to the match here. I thought it was a great match. I thought the Forgotten Sons, what is his name? Jackson Riker?
Yep.
Whatever Gunner's name is. Fuck him.
Yep.
That's who it was. I was
It's
thinking,
Gunner.
I'm like, I know somebody who was in TNA. Who the fuck is, what's
Yeah,
his name?
it was Gunner in TNA. But him coming out and being like the question mark, the third man or whatever.
He was the third man in the NWO?
Yeah, he was whose side is he on? But I liked how they dealt with it a little bit better than I would have said in main roster WWE, because in main roster WWE, they would have him
He would
go
have
up
won in
and
the bank.
yeah, I was gonna say run up and grab the tag titles, give it to him. But yeah, the match was great. I would give it 4 stars. I would say that this was the Street Profits coming out moment, in terms of really truly being a top tag team. Angelo Dawkins has been running NXT for years now. So it's nice to see him finally win some gold in NXT and actually have that moment. I can see a great number of angles coming out of this show that make me very happy, because everybody in this match was actually a great example of the future of tag team wrestling in NXT.
You know, one of them's married to Bianca Belair, and I'm like, why? NXT North
They have
American Championship?
I was going to say they have a hair fetish.
Oh, she's not good looking at all. Why? Velveteen Dream defends against Tyler Breeze.
How did you like the lead up to this? Did you watch any of the shows leading up to this?
9.
I liked how they dealt with Tyler Breeze here. And bringing him up to this moment is great. I want to say a legend, but an NXT legend in this particular circumstance.
Was that the first NXT, wasn't he? Takeover?
Yes.
An NXT legend that has not held a single NXT title.
Or main roster. Well, no, he's not held main roster title either. In fact, his claim to fame is dealing with a guy that dances a lot.
He just does it for the paycheck.
It's a paycheck. But
That's an inside thing. I met Fandango, and I'm like, hey, man, he's like right when he first became Fandango, maybe about a year in. I'm like, hey, man, how do you like the Fandango gimmick? He's like, it's a paycheck. So,
I mean, good for him, but whatever. You can either ride the wave or be like Cody Rhodes and start your own promotion. Whatever. No biggie.
no,
6-1.
find a billionaire to help fund your own promotion like Cody Rhodes.
Hey. You still got to build the promotion. So really enjoyed the match, but it wasn't a great match.
It was sloppy.
It was a bit sloppy. There was a lot of pieces of
Yeah. I gave it 3 1/4.
3.5. So, I mean, yeah. Chip, what did you think of it?
I thought the way they brought Tyler back was good. I thought Tyler looked really good in the ring. I'll give it 3 3/4. I'm not a fan of, well, I don't know. As the match went on, Velveteen Dream, he's surprising with some moves. He's improved way more since he was in MCW. Definitely. His in-ring ability has gotten a lot better. But, no, it was great to see Tyler Breeze, his old gimmick back, but he looked like more of a ferocious wrestler than he had in the past. Looked like he actually really wanted this win, which I haven't seen in him since he was in NXT the first time.
That's what the main roster does to you.
Yeah.
I actually put that it was the best match Tyler Breeze has had in years, and it proves that he can still work a match. He's more than a comedy act.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's good at comedy, but he's more than that.
NXT Women's Championship?
Oh, my God.
Shayna Baszler, I said her name right, defends against Io Shirai. Sleazy, you have an Asian fetish.
Oh.
He's sitting there looking at a wall.
What the fuck? Seriously? Okay. Let me say this. When you have exhausted the entire NXT women's roster and you're starting to run shows where the same wrestler is wrestling the third and fourth time for a title opportunity and still can't win, maybe you should look into moving the roster around a little bit. This was, I'm not going to say it was a bad match, but it's a match we've seen before. It's a match that...
It's a Shayna Baszler match.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I love Shayna Baszler. I think she is going to be one of those people that never turns face. Or you should never turn face.
Yeah, you should never turn her face.
She is absolutely quintessentially one of the greatest heels in NXT right now. And I dare say once she gets on the roster, she will be a top female.
She'll be nerfed.
She'll be absolutely nerfed because Ronda Rousey's going to be on there. She should be one of the top female acts on the main roster. I don't think that's going to happen, but I can hope. A man can dream. Io Shirai losing here just proves the fact that she's an also-ran because even Kairi Sane beat Shayna Baszler not once but twice. And Io, who is more experienced, can't get the job done. And I guess the philosophy behind this match was that Io has got more of a chip on her shoulder and blah, blah, blah. So they have Candice LeRae come out and fight off the Goonies with a candlestick.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Io still loses. And clean as a whistle, really.
She tapped.
I mean, there's no other way to put in that. So she gets pissed and beats the shit out of Shayna Baszler. Because that makes sense. I mean, that it makes, I don't know.
It sets up another match between them, like you said.
Yeah, well, that's my problem with it.
It's going to be like a no DQ match or a hardcore or Extreme Rules match or something like that.
I hope so, because I can't see another match like this. And honestly, I thought they were going to kind of pivot over to Candice versus Shayna. So to have another Io Shirai match at a takeover would be kind of defeating the point, I think.
Or they do like a 6-on-6 with Io, Candice, and somebody.
Yeah,
else.
but they already did that with the Sky Pirates and who do they pick as their third? It wasn't Candice. It was somebody else.
Bianca Belair.
I think it was Belair.
Did they have it at a takeover?
No, it wasn't a takeover.
It was just a regular TV
It was a
show?
weekly.
Well, they can just do it here again.
I mean, I guess it works, but I mean, when you're trying to rehash stuff again.
Plus, also at the same time, remember Dakota Kai is injured.
Oh, it was
She's
Dakota
out.
Kai. It was Dakota Kai.
She's injured. So, I mean, maybe they had to just pivot that way, but.
Maybe so, but I figured that they would pivot to Candice because Candice is right there, literally right there.
Maybe they still will.
Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Keep calm, bro.
I will, unlike the main roster, I will wait and see what happens because they've gone higher than my expectations. I don't like how it's going now. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to get better later.
Chip.
I wasn't a fan of this match. It was a normal Shayna Baszler match, which I've come accustomed to. I do like them, but it's just, I don't know. I just could not get invested in this one whatsoever.
So I'm the only one that actually liked it.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is a weird. Wait, are we in hell? Because normally everyone else overrates these matches, and I'm like, no, you got to get down to where the actually level is. And now you guys like the match is shit, and I'm like, it was really good, 3.5 stars. Like they busted their ass, even though it was the same Baszler match just with a different opponent, but
or the same opponent.
But what? Asians all look alike?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He could say it. He's married to one.
Yes.
I know.
But yeah, I think it's just the first of another match that they're going to set up for Takeover Toronto.
Oh, that's right. It's Toronto next one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, then we
Maybe
get
somebody will get their fucking papers in order.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Chip. God.
Coming to Toronto with us?
I wish. I don't have the money.
NXT,
But it's Toronto.
NXT Championship. Johnny Gargano defends against Adam Cole. Bay.
Bay.
All right, Chip.
If I ever had to have a 5-star match, it would be this one. It was unreal from beginning to end.
Did you watch their Takeover New York match?
What?
Did you watch their Takeover New York match?
No, I did not.
Watch that and then come talk to us.
Literally stop what you're doing.
No, don't
get
do
off. Get off Skype. Go find the Gargano Cole Takeover match from New York, and then meet back with us in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Because that match was
Still be on.
way better.
My dick is still hard from that.
That is the match of the year. Like Tony Schiavone likes to say, without question.
Right now, yeah.
So that's now
absolutely.
3 matches I have to go watch. Re-watch.
Okay. But anyway,
Great.
so you give this 5 stars.
Yep.
Okay, so
It's going to be 6.5 stars for him because it was in the Tokyo Dome.
it wasn't though.
Yeah,
So you're
it wasn't even in New York.
If you give this match
yeah, it
5,
was. Never mind.
it was in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Give this match 5 stars, you're gonna give that match 5 stars.
It was probably the only wrestling show that actually happened in New York that weekend. Because literally everybody else worked in New Jersey.
No. ROH was in New York.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, 2 matches. Okay,
2
2 shows on the same night.
Right. Yeah. All right, Sleazy. This match
You know what I'm going to say.
5 stars.
It was great, but it wasn't as good as their New York match.
4.5.
Yeah. Well, 4 3/4.
No. You're wrong.
Yeah, of course I'm not.
You're an underrating piece of shit.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
It's 5 stars. Like I literally at the end of this match, I threw my hands up and I'm like, "Can Johnny Gargano do no wrong?"
I mean,
it wasn't because of the finish, because Adam Cole winning. I'm like, he does it again. It's ridiculous how great Johnny Gargano is right now.
It truly is.
He is the best wrestler in the world without question. And I'm just like, it's insane. Like the streak that he's on. He's Johnny 5 stars. Like every match he has,
he needs a new.
Every match he has is a 5 stars. Absolutely great. Their New York match is better, but this is still 5 stars. Great, phenomenal, awesome.
It's like, how many 5-star matches have you given out tonight?
3.
Jesus Christ!
3.
I haven't even given out 3. I'm usually the overrating piece of shit.
You normally are an overrating piece of shit.
So I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
since you didn't give this 5 stars, I hope you step on a Lego.
Oh, you motherfucker! You can get that shirt at thewrestlingshow.com under merch. It's only $20, small to 4X. So check it out. Purchase a shirt, $2.95 shipping, or you can find me at Excite shows June 15th and September 1st. We're doing shows, and if you want to grab our shirt, I hope you step on Lego. You can meet me there, or you can meet us at WNY PodCon Showcase on August 1st at the
August 3rd.
Excuse me, August 3rd. Thank you. I'm thinking August 1st for something else. August 3rd, the wonderful Frontier Fire Hall in Niagara Falls, New York. Come see us. We're going to do a live mini show, and then I'm going to be there all day. Fat Man's going to bounce on me, but he will be here most of the day. He's like quadruple booked that day.
I really
you little
am.
fucking shit. Nice of you to have a fucking real life or something. Whatever.
I got 3 things to do after that.
Yeah, so meet us there. We will have our shirts there as well. And like I said, we're going to do a mini show as well.
Normally, this is the time where I rip out my notes, but since there were so fucking many of them, I just fucking threw the notebook across the room. We are done.
We are fucking
Woo!
I don't know how we got through all 5 of those shows, honestly. I really don't.
Oh, my asshole.
Yeah, we're not doing news and rumors tonight because
Fuck
holy
that.
shit.
We'll be here for another 3 hours.
Yeah, we'll catch up on them on the next show. We also wanted to talk about our next watch along, right? We were planning on doing another watch along.
Yeah, it will be yes, a Raw. I think it was like June 19th, 2006 from Rochester, the one where DX came back, and I finally found out who we went with.
Who did we go with?
Swarley and Mike.
Mike came with us?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We mentioned in our old watch along, which we listened to on our way to Hartford, and I said to him, like, I don't remember who we went with. And he's like, it was me and Mike. I was like, Really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. See, he remembers what happened like 15 years ago on this exact date at this exact time, but he don't remember what the fuck he did yesterday. It's insane.
I don't understand it. So that will be coming up in the upcoming weeks. I want to say sometime within the next month or so. But yeah, our next show is going to be just
took us 6 weeks to get this one out.
Holy shit. Yeah. So let's quickly gloss over that a little bit. One of the reasons why is our schedule is kind of changing around here. Mainly because I'm doing a lot more work, with schooling, and Fat Man has changed his days around. So we're taping on a different day and things have gotten all topsy-turvy. We're just working our way back into the
and then
swing of
the
things.
week I was available to tape, he's like, I'm on vacation. I'm like, then you have plenty of time to tape. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go to fucking New Jersey.
I wanted to make sure I got the biggest piece of shit out of my ass, and I could only do that in Jersey City.
Okay, I'll allow that. I was going to say this motherfucker went all the way to New Jersey to get fucking Smash Burger when he could have went 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only reason he went to New Jersey, to go to Smash Burger.
Yeah, that was literally the only reason. There's also some other things, but mainly it was to get Smash Burger.
When I tell the story, it's just because he went to go to Smash Burger.
It's just going to be...
He thought Smash Burger, it was different. He thought Smash, he gets to fuck the burger. but you find out that
Wait, you're not supposed to fuck the burger before you eat it? Uh-oh.
lawsuits coming.
Well, on that terrible disappointment, Chip, thank you for coming on the show.
It's good to be back.
Awesome. And as always, for Sleazy,
For the fat man.
this is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
I'm the truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain of the game. The bloodshed in your name. When there's nothing to gain, I'm the world gone sad.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Do you like sports, interactive polls, friendly banter from two guys that probably shouldn't even be on the microphone doing this stuff anyways? Well, if you do, then you're in luck. Us two knuckleheads, Brandon and myself, comprise the Listen In podcast. That's right, Listen In, the podcast. We're talking sports, we're talking news, we're talking topical things, we're talking all sorts of things, my babies, and you are all invited to listen in right here on the Gear Radio Network.